Nicole Whitney, News for the Soul, life-changing talk radio from the uplifting to the unexplained. Yeah, it's a great honor to have you on the show tonight. Welcome, Deepak Chopra.
Thank you.
Yes, this is Uri.
Hi, Uri. It's Nicole Whitney calling News for the Soul.
Welcome to News for the Soul's 20th anniversary broadcast series. News for the Soul, the longest running spiritual empowerment and exploration broadcast in North America, started its 21st year in January 2018, and we're just getting warmed up. It's time to take it to the next level, exploring the edge of human consciousness and possibility on planet Earth in our 21st year with founder and journalist Nicole Marie Whitney at the helm. What's really real and what's really possible? That is what we want to know. So if you're ready to find out together, get ready for life-changing talk radio from the uplifting to the unexplained. Platinum Edition. Here is News for the Soul.
Next on News for the Soul, it's time to illuminate your life with Krista Hurley. Krista is an intuitive healer working with theta, reconnection, crystal viewing, emotional freedom technique and more. Her goal is to facilitate healing and transformational changes in the lives of her clients, creating lives filled with love, abundance and joy. Welcome Krista back to News for the Soul.
My goodness, it feels like forever since we've talked to Krista. Krista, are you there?
I'm here, Nicole. How you doing?
I'm well. Ta-da! Wow.
Yay!
It's like long.
It does feel like a while. Our house was hit with a nasty flu virus, and of course I came down with it the day before my show, so it wasn't going to work last month. But I'm glad to be back, and I've got an exciting topic. We're going to talk about aging.
Or aging or not aging?
A little bit of both, yeah, youthing and aging, and our beliefs and limiting points of view around aging so that we can shift into some other possibilities.
One of my favorite topics.
I know. I was excited when it came to me. I'm like, yes, this is going to be fun. It's good because a lot of people really don't even have that awareness that it is actually possible to shift how we age or how we, pass through time, right?
Absolutely.
So let's do that.
Let's get you to reintroduce yourself and your show, and let's go for it.
Okay, amazing. I am Krista Hurley, and you can connect with me at kristahurley.com. I am a theta healing instructor as well as an access consciousness bars facilitator, and I use a few different modalities in my toolkit as far as helping people grow and evolve and change into who they truly want to be. So, my goal is to help people in whatever ways they're feeling stuck, whether it's physical and emotional pain or just, wanting more out of life. And help them look at their blocks and look at those limiting beliefs and limiting points of view that are preventing them from stepping into something more. So generally, theta healing is one of the main modality, and we're going to use it on this call. And the idea around theta healing is that we access a theta brainwave with a really short meditation to clear out limiting points of view and judgments that we've been carrying, whether it's something we've pulled in through our genetics, we learned from our parents, through our lifetime, or even through the media, all of which certainly apply to aging, that we can clear out when in this theta brainwave. So we can release beliefs and then bring in, feeling downloads or understanding, sort of reprogram our subconscious mind to have these new awarenesses. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to chat a little bit about aging and kind of get people thinking about their perspectives on it. I've got a really cool in theta healing. When you take the basic class, one of the really cool activities is that we can activate our youth and vitality gene. Vienna Steibel, who's the founder of theta healing, has realized there's actually a youth and vitality chromosome. And so I thought it would be fun to activate everyone's youth and vitality chromosome on the show, as well as just receive a whole bunch of shifts and changes around perspectives on aging. So hopefully this show is big for people and will help you shift into more joy and alignment and living now and less fear around aging and, looking at yourself and thinking you're getting older. So that's the goal. for today's call. What else is possible?
Love it. All right. Where would you like to start?
All right. I just want people to start, first off, just reflecting for a little bit. So I'm going to ask a few questions to start. So first off, you know, we kind of look at ourselves and how we feel as we move through time. Generally, there's this understanding in society that there's sort of a decline that happens. At a certain point in time, you know, we've hit our best, the best that we're ever going to experience, and from that point on, we're in decline, and that's aging, right? So we've got these points of view, these beliefs, and these experiences of others aging, actually, that influence our own beliefs around aging, and then the media influences, of course, have all contributed to our experiences and understandings of aging. So we're going to kind of talk about that today on today's call. So I want everyone just to think for a second, and for some people you might even want to take some quick notes just to really hone in on what your perspectives are now. So I want to ask the question, at what age, like for you, listener on the call, what age is old? And Nicole, I want you to think too, what age is old for you? So are you already feeling old, and what age did you start feeling old? Or if you don't feel old yet, at what age are you fearing you're going to be old?
Yeah.
What is it for you?
It always moves, right? And I always I find it's very important to find a good role model. You know, Cher, she's like rocking it, 75 or something, you know, size 2 on stage. And it's probably a bad example considering how much plastic surgery she's had. But I always look for a good role model. And we have a lot more now. So, you know, I used to think how old I am now was old, but I had to work on that to not become that, right? And
totally.
So now I think my trigger point somewhere in the 80s now. Still working on moving that back.
Okay, cool. And I love that. I actually love that idea of a role model, because I think we all have that at some point. You see somebody and you're like, that person's fit and they're 80 and they're living their life. I want that, right?
You know, if you don't have a role model, your mind's going to go to a negative role model, like a parent or something.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Most of us have defined aging based on our grandparents and their experience, or our parents and their experience. So for me, 80 is old. Like I think I've shifted it, because I remember actually when my mom turned 40, she got a mug saying that she's over the hill. And I remember being like, A, what's the hill? And B, like, why is 40 over the hill? Like, it was really confusing for me as a kid. And I'm getting close to 40 now. But I don't feel like I've reached the top of that hill in any way, shape, or form. Like, my hill's just, like, it's going on for the rest of my life, right? But I've had to reprogram that. Whereas 80 for me right now, my grandma's, my grandparents are 80, and I'm starting to see some of their decline, which is bringing up, you know, this aging thing for me. So then with that being said, what are the fears that you have around aging, or what meaning are you giving to aging? So I just want everyone to think about that for a second. So, you know, for me, 80 is old. So I'm going to look at the fears around turning 80. What does that mean for me? So for you, Nicole, what does aging or mean for you?
Well, you get pictures of, you know, all the stuff we've been programmed around. Oh, you being at home and, you know, unable to care for yourself and lose independence and just basically get medicated and taped to a chair and die.
Totally. And the media feeds us that as well, right? We're bombarded by the media with that, like, oh, you're just going to decline and have to be dependent on others. And then also, oh, you're wrinkly and saggy and you're going to have a mom body, whatever that is, right? So, yeah, I would agree. And for me, the fear would be more just unhappiness, maybe the not wanting to be here, like the kind of the physical decline, you know? And that's directly connected to what I'm seeing with my own grandmother. So a lot of our fears, like I actually polled some of my Facebook people on Facebook and asked them what their fears were, and it was interesting because the people that I did know, a lot of their fears were directly connected, like, you know, if it was an elderly family member was going through Alzheimer's, they were afraid of losing their memory. You know, there was a lot of direct correlations to the experiences we have magnifying those fears, and also a fear of the genetic level, right? So if my family, a family member, my parents or grandparents has cancer, maybe I'm afraid of cancer or afraid of Alzheimer's or whatever it might be, or just even, you know, osteoporosis or arthritis. Like, there's lots of different degenerative diseases that many of us fear on some level based on, you know, what we've experienced or what we've witnessed and even what the media is sharing with us. The good thing is our bodies can heal everything. And the good thing is we have tools now to do so, and tools now to really shift these fixed point of views that we've taken on and these belief systems that we've taken on, even on the genetic level, and really start to change it. So that's what I kind of want to bring our attention to on the call, and then you actually go up into the theta brainwave and do some of that. So
I just wanted to validate what you're saying too, because I can tell you, like, I've done, you know, decades of work on this since starting News for the Soul, and I was recently 3 separate occasions misidentified as my daughter.
Amazing.
My 3 people haven't seen me in a long time, so it really works. It really works.
It does work. It does work, and even for me, as I'm turning 40, I've been somebody who's always looked young. Like, I'm shorter. So I have been blessed with people always telling me that I look young. When I was little, that bothered me to some extent. Yeah. But I've taken on this belief that I look young, so I think it actually helps me. But I had a time in my life or two when I didn't feel young. Like, after I had my daughter, my first daughter, Ivy, and I was separating with my husband, I was back to work, and I was just starting into EFT, so I was just starting into energy work. That was the oldest I've ever felt in my life, because my life was falling apart. So it's interesting how when we work through our stuff and we feel aligned, we feel more, you know, alive, really, and we feel more excited, we have more fun, and that's all connected to the decline. If you're aligned and you're doing your purpose, you're not going to decline through time, right? And as you said, it's absolutely true. All of this healing work that we do slows the decline process, if not stops it. It gives us a whole different outlook, and as a result, our bodies react differently. I've had people say, I just had a baby, you know, she's 14 months now, and moving forward, I may or may not have a second, but I don't intend to rush into having another child just because I'm going to be 40 in a year or two, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't have those beliefs. Like, I really feel as though I'm 28 and holding. My body is totally capable of having a baby in 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't necessarily need to rush just because, you know, my body's not going to be fertile. I've cleared those beliefs. I don't believe in that. I don't think that's true. My body isn't necessarily as old as my actual years on this planet, if that makes sense. So, yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
And it's a regenerative thing. Our bodies heal and regenerate.
They do. They do. And that's the thing. I remember hearing and reading that every 7 years, our cells completely regenerate. We're a totally different person every 7 years. So why then can't we heal everything completely, and why then would we age, right? Why our belief systems are locked into even wrinkles, for example. There's beliefs within wrinkles about, you know, those wrinkles show, you know, what the experiences you've gone through, or they're proof of all that you've weathered, right? There's a bit of pride for some people in wrinkles as far as beliefs. We believe that gravity is going to make us saggy, you know, that things are going to pull us down. But those are all beliefs. There's no reason why that needs to be true. So for both of those, if anyone on the call has that gravity is going to make us saggy, or that wrinkles are like a sense of pride and something to be proud of, and therefore to create them, can we release those up? and just show everyone that it's actually possible to have a body that is supported by gravity, and that our skin cells can constantly regenerate themselves, and that you can actually move forward without having wrinkles. And yet, so there's a flip point that we're going to talk about this, and yet we also need to get to a place where we love our wrinkles, or we love our bodies and appreciate and accept them as they are. So that's kind of the tricky part, because the more we actually look at our flaws and appreciate them and love them and see the beauty, the more they'll shift through appreciation and actually change and heal. Okay, so let me just see here. I wanted to mention a few things. Actually, let's just release for everyone, because I think what I'm getting is there's sort of some things up that have been brought into the surface for people as they think about their grandparents and parents getting old and declining. So whatever that is, so whatever fears have kind of been surfaced, let's just show everyone the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on those fears. And can we show everyone on the call, too, that you can actually shift and change your genetics, that nothing is set in stone, that nothing is fixed, and that when you do your work energetically, when you use some of these tools that are provided and available to you, you create your reality. So there's nothing in your genetics that's so locked into place that means that it's inevitable. And so you can easily create something different for you now. So let's just bring that belief in. And again, every time I bring those in for people, if the listeners could just say yes out loud, ideally, because it helps bring those programs into the conscious and the subconscious mind. Okay, so again, when we release all these fixed point of views, the beliefs about decline or getting older, we can actually reverse the aging process that's on our body. And like I said, when I was in my late 20s, I really felt and looked the oldest that I have, and I feel way younger now. Even my energy levels are higher now than they were as a teenager for me, because I've cleared a bunch of stuff. Even physically, I think I was stronger, not now because I had a baby a year ago, but before having Stella, I was definitely stronger at 35, 36 than I was as a teenager or in my mid-20s, right? And again, it's like you can change your beliefs around that. Who says I can't be physically strong when I'm 80? I intend to be hiking mountains at that time, because why not, right? Anything's possible. People used to live hundreds of years. They weren't living these short lifespans that we had. So we can create something different. Okay, so let's look into just talking a little bit about aging, and then we'll get into some healing. Sound good?
Perfect.
Okay, so the one thing with aging that I wanted to touch on, and this is something Abraham Hicks talks about, and I do love her work, so I wanted to share it. She talks about how aging, we're evolving, mature, conscious beings. So as evolving beings, we're moving through time. We're physical beings, so we're moving through time. But that's not aging as we perceive it. Most of us see aging as, again, a decline in our appearance, a decline in health, a decline in enjoyment of life. Like you were mentioning, Nicole, a decline in independence. It's about decline. And what aging actually is just working through. Maturing is a natural physical process, right? It's something that we just go through life and have physical changes, but it doesn't need to be attached to decline. And that's what the collective consciousness has created aging to be. So can we release everyone on the call from collective consciousness's understanding, so us, humanity's understanding around aging, and instead can we bring in the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on being the being that you are, the infinite being that you are, evolving and maturing through time, and bring in the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on your body as an infinite being, as an infinite physical, conscious, amazing body, and all that's capable for it moving through time. and that you can create something different for yourself now. You can create a future of enjoyment. You can create, a future of feeling like you're doing all that you desire, loving your appearance, feeling physically well, that you can move with ease, all that you desire, that's possible, okay? So we've picked up these judgments and fixed point of views that aren't true, and then what we're doing is recreating them into our future. So the shift that we need to do instead to prevent the decline is really truly be aligned to ourselves. So to our inner guidance systems, those spidey senses, those gut knowings, connecting into that and following what is true for us, what is light for us, is right for us, following what we love about ourselves, like listening to our passions, jumping into them. It's all about living right now. So again, if you don't listen to those whispers of your inner guidance system, that's connected to the decline. It's about resistance. So if I'm depleting myself, that's about decline. If I'm so stressed out because I'm working a job that I hate to make ends meet, to live in a house that I can't afford or whatever it is, it's like that's depletion, that's decline. So stress, all these fears and beliefs about genetic conditions, those are all contributing to declines, and all of that can be changed. Even, somebody mentioned regret. So when you're living in regret or resentment or anger and all these heavy energies, even just like pain and unresolved traumas, that's about decline. So aging is about looking at all of the stuff that we haven't looked at in our past and actually addressing it. Or better yet, addressing it as it shows up, which, Nicole, is why you and I are moving through time now in a way that was different than before, because we have tools and we're constantly looking at our stuff as it surfaces and connecting into those whispers, which allows us to decline less, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Totally. So it's kind of a cool concept. I don't think enough people are talking about this as in regards to aging. It's definitely not something, in the mainstream. So yeah, it's like I want to reframe everyone's understanding around aging, that literally it's just decline, and it's decline when you're not listening to your truth and you're not living your true life. So you might need to quit a job and create something different for yourself, and that might not necessarily be easy, but that might be what your soul desires because you're not fully in your truth, right? So it's looking at that. Or you might be in a relationship that hasn't been positive for years, and so you might have to reevaluate your relationship. Or any of that stuff, any way you're feeling stuck in your life and any way you don't feel like you're being true to you, we need to kind of reevaluate that. So with that being said, the concept of really living now is super important. So if you're living now and you're living your life to the fullest today, that is going to contribute to you feeling lighter, right? It's going to contribute to you really moving through time in a way that feels awesome and in a way that feels free. So yeah, it's really trying to figure out how do I live my life now in a way that really is me doing things that I'm interested in. Like, so in my experience with teaching, I was a teacher and I taught full time, and every weekend, like I would be like, oh God, I'm done. Like it was like I was living to work for the weekend. Every Friday that came was like, oh, thank God it's Friday. Like it was like, oh, I just need a weekend. Especially when I was full-time working. It was something that teaching is a part of my purpose and part of why I'm here, but I'm not certain it's in the education system as, the institution that it's become. And so there was a part of me that wasn't resonating with that, and I knew it because every Sunday night I would go into this like panic because the whole work week was ahead. Right? That's not the way you want to live life. That's not a way that's aligned and true. We need to choose something different, and it's not always the easiest choice, but when you make that choice, you feel free, and you feel like so much more happier and joyful. And that was the other thing that keeps coming up too, is this concept of retirement. You know, there's always fears about retirement and fears about having enough money, and I can appreciate that. But what I shifted out of, so again, I was a teacher, full-time teaching. I would have one of the best pension plans in the country, and yet, you know, I'm looking at letting that go to follow my passion and my purpose, and I won't retire at 54, nor will I want to, like I could have had I have worked full-time as a teacher. I'd be retired at 54, and I'd have a really great pension, but I'd have a whole lot of years where I was living for the weekends and holidays, and that's not alignment, and that's a whole lot of decline. I was stressed all the time, you know, and again, going to get back to the retirement piece, it's like, you know, we're finally getting out of these jobs to retire so that then I can live and do what I wish I had done all of those other years. But why are we waiting? Why are we waiting to do what we want to do? And why aren't we making today and every now moment the best now moment that there ever has been? Again, it's about living our life now. And we hear about people who retire and then shortly afterwards they're done, they actually check out and they leave and head off to whatever else they're here to do because they think that working is their life. So for anyone on this call that believes that working is their life and without the highest understanding and truth on work for most people feels heavy. But if we can give everyone the highest respect, understanding, and truth on work, like my work now is my truth and my purpose, and it's changing lives, and it's so much bigger than, you know, a 9-to-5 job for me because, and it's not something that I want to stop doing, right? It's something that I will do 54 and onward, or some variation of this. It won't look exactly the same because I'm going to keep growing, evolving, and shifting, and changing. So what do you need to do to live now? So let's just give everyone the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on what you would need to do to live now, and show them that it's possible to do that and that you can make those choices. And they might even be small little tweaks that you can bring into your life to really feel like you're living now. And with that being said, it's like, what are you really interested in? Because, again, if you're living your life in a way that is aligned and you're following those passions, it's fun and you're having fun now. And for me, my husband and I are about to sell our current home and we're building another house. So I'm kind of in, you know, home staging mode, and I'm in home reno mode of the new home. And it's reignited my love of home decor and, like, interior design. I used to, in university, watch HGTV, all these home design shows, but I really, like, shoved that off. It's not something I want to do as a profession, perhaps, but it's a passion I want to dabble in. And so I have all of this excitement coming up as I'm, like, playing around in home decor now. So I'm refueling myself every day because I'm embedding myself in activities that I love. So can we also give everyone the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on how to do activities that they love every day, that they're allowed, and that's why they're here. We're here to actually enjoy ourselves. And I've been told that by a mentor of mine. On the other side, it's not so much about Judgment Day. It's more about, you know, let's reflect back in your life. Did you have fun? And did you make a difference on some level? If so, amazing. But we're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy this physical experience. And when you live now, you don't have these regrets. So a couple people mentioned, you know, as they turn 40, well, I didn't think I'd be here at 40. I thought I'd have a family, and I thought I'd have children, and I thought I'd be in a different job, and I thought I'd have more savings, and I thought I'd travel more. You know, I thought I would have gone to university, and they've got all of these regrets that they didn't do, and they're holding on to these regrets. And again, that's about decline. That's going to focus on That's gonna age you. Instead, it's like, okay, I've got, instead of this heavy energetic resistance in my body that I'm carrying and focusing all my attention on, and every birthday brings that up and focuses that towards it more. What about, let's look at, what was I to learn from each of those experiences? So can we just show everyone who's sitting in regret right now, can we just show you, A, how to live without regret? And B, can we show you how to see each of those experiences, give you the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on each of those experiences, so you see the gifts in those, and you see what they led you towards and all the virtues that they brought you, maybe resiliency or strength or dedication or compassion, right? So every experience is showing us how to listen to our knowing, and when we do listen to our guidance, it's like, hey, you know what, it's time to travel. All right, let's book that. Or you should really take this course. Okay, I'm going to do that. It's a little scary. It maybe costs more than I realized or thought or whatever, or I'm willing to spend, but I'm really feeling like my being is lighter when I think of this class, then I'm going to take it, right? So following your guidance. And I know we've done a call on that, Nicole, but so people can access that if they need to, how to follow your guidance and connection to source. But if something is light for you, it's right for you. And if something's heavy, it's generally either triggering fear, or also it's just not in your highest and best. So when we know better, we can do better. So there's no reason to have regret. It's like, I didn't know better then. And I learned from that. I experienced something different, and I'm moving forward in that now. So it's huge when you let go of resentment and regret. It's really, truly important. So, does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah, it very much weighs you down, literally. It does, and it will age you as a result, right? If we're going with the traditional term of aging. Yeah, and then the other thing I really wanted to touch on before we kind of go into some healing is, as you mentioned, that our bodies are divinely conscious beings and totally and truly have the capacity to heal. So our cells are constantly regenerating themselves. And for this to happen, though, we need to reduce our resistance, and we need to step out of decline. So the ways we do that, we appreciate what we have. We let go of our resentments, our regrets, all the ways we're fearing the past or thinking about the past. Let go of the past and step into the now. So live fully in the now, be aligned to your truth, and the last thing is to have fun. And what I got to is, can we just show everyone how to have fun and that you can still be responsible? Because when I was thinking about the having fun piece and coming in again, it's like there's this misunderstanding, well, if I'm responsible, then I'm not having fun. And as an adult, I can't have fun. Only kids can really, truly have fun. So can we release all those limiting beliefs around all the ways you're allowed or not allowed to have fun, and just lift that up and show you instead that you know how to have fun. It's safe for you to have fun, and you're having fun now. And you're creating every now moment that's embedded in fun. Okay, so the last major topic I kind of wanted to touch on was the media and our pressure to look young from the media. Nicole, do you find you're inundated with messages from the media around looking younger, I think women their whole lives, more so than men, are really get that a lot. I think so too. I think men more so now than ever before are getting it as well. Maybe a little less about aging, because I think there's something in our society around men, with some wrinkles are sexy. Like there are definitely some different beliefs around men and aging, but I think the beliefs, the pressure is still for them to be fit and to have muscles and toned and right. So they've got sort of a different angle of pressure, whereas I think women definitely, we do get it in a big way. And we get inundated with messages and images all over the place, right? And so really from a
a sales perspective, it's really good for business to tell us constantly that we're not enough. So whether it's like the latest fad diet commercial or the face cream or the Botox or the laser surgeries or whatever it is, really what they're trying to do is sell their product. And so it makes sense that they would want to make us not feel good enough or not beautiful enough or not young enough or not thin enough or not tall enough or whatever it is. So there's a couple things. A, it's nice if you try to eliminate your exposure to media. Like I used to, in my 20s, buy all these magazines, whereas, you know, every time I was at the grocery store, it was kind of a treat to myself, whereas buying a magazine that was about people or, you know, whatever it was. And I think that was creating a constant message that was being reiterated. So I've since sort of disconnected from that. I don't have television with commercials. I don't pay a lot of attention to the news, so I am a little bit in my own bubble, but I kind of like it there. But it does help, you know, alleviate some of that pressure from the media, but it's still there. You can't avoid it. So the key really and truly is to find a way to shift into appreciating every aspect of you. And it's a process. This isn't something that I think most of us can do instantly. I know I can't. It's still something that I'm working on, right? It's like appreciate every, you know, sunspot, appreciate every wrinkle, appreciate whatever it is. Really truly shifting into appreciation is what's going to shift things for you. And just unconditionally loving and accepting yourself and seeing how beautiful you are. It's not necessarily about the physical. It's so much deeper. There's a soul beauty and inner beauty that we all have, right? And I know these are messages that we've all heard before, but it's like embodying them on a different level that's so key. So why don't we just start with that? So all of these not enoughness beliefs that you've picked up through the media, and this is an access consciousness clearing statement. So all the not enoughness that you are using to avoid the total freedom, total joy, and alignment you could be choosing. So everything that is, all the energy that brought up, that all the not enoughness that you're using to prevent yourself from really stepping into your alignment, your truth, and your freedom that you could be choosing, we're going to pot and pock all that, which is go back to the point of destruction and the point of creation for all of those beliefs. So again, if you'd like that, just say yes. So for all the enoughness that you're using to avoid the total freedom, joy, and alignment you could be choosing, everything that is, we're going to pod and pock and release all of those beliefs attached to that. And then, and any limiting point of views, anything energetically connected, and all the ways you've received pressure from the media, let's just release any beliefs up that you can let go of from the collective consciousness, from the media, around beauty, and instead give you the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on being beautiful, the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on being young, and on being ageless, and that that's safe and possible for you, and you're able to do so now. Okay, cool. So did you have any other comments around the media? Like, it's a big topic, but...
Yeah, it is a big topic, but I think you covered the important bits.
Yeah, I know. I was like, this could almost be a show in its own. So we'll just kind of touch on it and go from there. But, okay. All right, so why don't we go in and do the theta healing meditation, Nicole, and then we'll just connect in, and whatever downloads come through, we'll go with those, and then we'll activate our youth and vitality gene. So I guess I'll talk quickly about that before we head up there. So with the youth and vitality chromosome, Diana talks about telomeres, and they're the ends of the chromosomes. And it was cool for me. I was actually doing a session with a friend of mine like years ago on aging and some of her beliefs around aging, and I was shown a chromosome, and I was shown the ends, and I was actually shown to lengthen them. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm just being guided to lengthen the ends of your chromosomes. And I was like, I know there's a name for that, but I couldn't remember what it was. And I went in and I Googled ends of chromosomes, and again, it's called telomeres. But it was cool because the longer your telomeres are, again, the more youthful you feel and the more useful you are. So it was really cool for me to see that my guidance and what I was researching were directly linked and connected. So again, what I will witness for you is we're going to witness going in, looking at this youth and vitality chromosome, activating it, and just seeing the ends of the telomeres just sort of lengthen in the highest and best way for everyone. Okay, and it generally happens pretty fast, but you know, people can do their own research if they need to around that, but it is neat to take a look at. So let's head in here. I'll get everyone connecting in to the energy in their heart, taking a deep breath in and letting it out. Another deep breath in and let it out. And then we're going to pull the energy from the earth all the way up through each layer of the earth. So reach down into that earth energy. We're going to feel that earth energy come all the way up through each layer of the earth, coming up into your feet, bringing that mothering, nurturing, grounding, loving earth energy up through your feet, all the way up through your legs, up into the base of your spine, all the way up through your body, and asking that everyone's chakras or energy centers spin and align in the highest and best way as they continue all the way up through. You'll notice the ball of light above your head. We'll get you to jump your energy or consciousness into that ball of light, and we're using it as a spaceship to propel you into this state of brainwave where this all that is, of all that is energy that we connect into, for instance, healings, instant manifestations, and pure awesomeness. So just sending your energy into that ball of light, feeling yourself pushing all the way up through each star, heading up past each and every planet, continuing onward and upward through the first layer of bright light. We'll see these beautiful bright lights, pushing up past all the bright lights, continuing up through the next layer of golden light. You'll see beautiful flecks of golden light and pushing yourself up through. Heading up to the next layer of jelly, you'll see beautiful colors and shapes as you push yourself through the thin layer of jelly. And then you'll see a doorway to the energy of all that is. So opening that door, sending yourself deep into this amazing unconditional light and love and healing energy. So heading all the way deep into that layer, as far into this all that is of all that is of all that is, all that is source energy as you can possibly go. And just asking that everyone on the call receive a physical healing to start in the highest and best way for them, and just being showered with this unconditional love and light. And can we just show everyone the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on unconditional love and unconditional appreciation and acceptance? And can we show you how to love and appreciate and accept your body as you process and mature through time? And that it's safe and easy for you to appreciate and love all aspects of your maturation process, and how to really enjoy the physical changes that you experience, but that the changes can be fun and light and easy and joyful. And can we show everyone how to live without believing that aging is decline? And can we give you, can we show you the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on how to feel more youthful, how to feel more beautiful, how to feel vivacious, vibrant, strong, clear, how to feel mobile, agile, confident, and completely loved with the passing of time. And that you know how you can actually feel more of those things as you pass in time, but that you can feel all of that now, and it's safe and possible for you. And again, if you'd like these new perspectives, just say yes out loud. And can we show you, too, the highest truth on how different possibilities and experiences are available for you than those around you, and different possibilities available for you than your family and your ancestors, that you can choose something different as you pass through time, and that it's safe for you to be aligned and stepping into your truth in a deeper way and create more possibilities for yourself, and to create more magic, and to create your dream life, and that you can have that all now. It's safe and possible, and you're worthy and deserving of that. And just all the beliefs that you've taken on from your family that aren't yours, that you're carrying that aren't even yours, can we just release those up as well? And can we show you that your experience is different from your family because you have tools at your disposal now that they maybe didn't have, and you have different soul understandings and experiences that you're here for. So it's nothing is locked in stone. No experience in the future is locked in stone. You get to create your reality, and every time you change a belief, you change your future. And so you're doing so now in a way that is light and right and optimally healthy for you, and that you can move forward feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually well, but that you can feel even more enlightened and expansive with each phase and stage as you pass through time. And that's easy and effortless, and you're doing so now. And can we also give the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on how your cells are forever regenerating to divine perfection? And because that is true, you can step in, showing you how to step into a place of total allowance and receiving of total health. You are physically, mentally, emotionally more youthful now as you receive that. So showing you as well that you can live without regrets, you can live without resentments, you can live without shoulda, woulda, couldas, you can live without decline, you can live without feelings that you're not where you want to be, and just release all of those. And instead, can we show you the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on trusting in divine timing and seeing the highest purpose in all things, but that you can now step into being aligned in your truth, and that you can now step into creating for yourself a life that you love and a life that you desire, and that you're living now. So let's give you the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on living life now, making today the most joyful day that ever there was now, and that every day is the most joyful day that ever there was, and that you know how to feel that. Every day you can feel, how does it get better than this, and be excited about the universe showing you how it keeps getting better and better and better, and knowing that that's the case. Whether you're 20 or whether you're 90, it keeps getting better. So all parts of you that feel like the best, you've lived the best that you're ever going to live, or you've had that, you've hit your apex or the top of the hill, can we just release those beliefs and release them from your genetic line as well? And show you that, again, the best is yet to come, and bring in the magic of that knowing. And can we also remind everyone the highest perspective, understanding, and truth on how to listen easily and effortlessly and with clarity to the divine inspiration, to those divine whispers of your internal guidance system and of your connection to all that is, and then you know how to listen and act with inspiration, and that it's easy, and that you're able to do so now. Okay, and then I've got a couple of access consciousness clearing statements. So those were theta healing downloads. So we're bringing in those perspectives and shifting some of those out as we were doing all the way through the call. But I've got a couple others. So basically with access is when you ask a question, it triggers and brings up energy connected to that question, and then we just release it and let it go. So what conclusions am I using to avoid the living I am choosing? So what conclusions are you using around aging and anything else in your life to prevent yourself from living fully? So what conclusions am I using to avoid the living I am choosing? Everything that is, let's destroy it and create it all. And again, we're going to go back to the point of creation on that, and releasing all of the energy up around that that no longer serves. So what conclusions am I using to avoid the living I am choosing? And with pot and pocking all that. And then another one, what points of view around what points of view you've taken on from your parents and grandparents aren't aging that you're using or choosing to limit your experiences that you're using. So anything that is, we're going to pause and talk all that. So any ways you're holding on to these viewpoints of your parents, of your grandparents, based on those experiences that are limiting your experiences, we're going to release all of those energies and belief systems and programs and points of views now. Going back to the point of destroying and creating from the point of creation. Okay, and then the last one is anything that doesn't allow you to be all that you desire as you move through time. Anything that's preventing that, can we show you instead that it's possible for you to be all that you are and all that you desire, and that you can create that now, and that it's possible and it's safe and you're doing so. Okay, and then we'll finish here with activating the youth and vitality chromosome. So we're going to ask this highest all-that-is source energy that the activation of the youth and vitality chromosome for everyone on the call now and moving forward through all time and space take place now. Thank you, and it's done. And then I witness the changes happening for everyone in the master cell of the pineal gland. So we're going to observe these virtual DNA stacks pairing on top of each other with the telomere caps extending on the end. And I'm just going to witness that here as that happens for everyone. So as you move forward, your youth and vitality chromosomes have been activated. And then, you know, what else is possible knowing that this is the case. It's showing you how to receive that fully and completely, and how to step into living your life fully and completely, and you're able to do so now. Okay, cool. So if people are feeling like they need to ground, you can come back down through all of those layers, so through the jelly, through the golden light, through the bright lights and dark lights, back past the planets and stars, all the way down through your body, out your feet, down into the center of the earth, and then grab that earth energy again, bringing it all the way up through your body to helping you ground. But I like to head all the way back up to that all that is energy because I like to live my life connected. So heading all the way up if you want, or just stopping above your space. But that's the healing for today that came through for everyone. So hoping that you feel lighter and brighter and more vibrant and joyful from all of that.
Perfect time. You've got about 4 minutes to the top with another show behind you, so that worked out well.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, so maybe I'll do some of my shameless promotion here. I'm taking clients now. My business is up and running fully after taking some time off with my daughter. And I'm teaching a bunch of classes. I'm super excited. Love teaching theta healing and access consciousness. So my next basic DNA theta healing class is in London, Ontario on June 8th to June 10th. And then I'm also teaching a basic DNA class for theta healing here in Stratford on July 23rd to the 25th. So if anyone is interested in changing their life in 2.5 days in ways they never thought possible, I highly recommend you take my class. It truly, for me, I haven't found a tool yet that can change ways in which you're stuck and really access those deep traumas and heal them more deeply than theta healing. So, and then I also teach access consciousness, which is amazing because they're about living in the question. So some of these tools that I use, like how does it get better than this? What else is possible? There's questions that you can ask and tools that you can ask that really help shift. Like if I was an infinite being, which I am, would I choose this? Would an infinite being choose this? You know, there's really cool questions that you can ask and tools that are offered in access consciousness as well. And then we run the bars, which is essentially, I like to refer to it as reflexology for the head, but you basically put your hands on certain specific points on the head that connect you to specific energies to release limiting beliefs around each of those points. So one point is about money. One point is actually about, it's called the aging toaster. So you can connect into the aging toaster, and all your limiting beliefs and fixed point of views around aging start to clear, and you don't even necessarily need to tap into what they are. It's a very passive process, and it's all about receiving, which is also incredible. Sometimes we don't need to know. So I'm teaching Access Consciousness on May 12th. It's a one-day class to become a certified practitioner. And then I was thinking about offering a kids and parents class. So if I have enough interest, on May 6th. So kids are free in access, and then parents would come and take the class as well. Again, just amazing tools to be able to provide for your kids and for your family. So, yeah, that's my shameless self-promotion, and hope everyone feels more useful after the call.
Well, we've got a way to get there now. That's awesome. And it was so good to reconnect with you today, and have a great month. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thanks so much, Nicole. Have a good one.
You too. Krista's all linked up, as all the hosts are, at newsforthesoul.com. Tara's next. Tara McIntyre after this, and we'll be right back.
And we love News for the Soul.
I'm feeling enormous energy around this show. Just enormous. I really have to hand it to you, Nicole. You've created sort of a niche of amazing connections. It's just like the angels and the devatas that are like attracted to News for the Soul is amazing. This is what's getting, it's some angel telling somebody, okay, listen, get on this show, listen to this program. Even not my program, whatever program you've got on. It's really amazing.
It's hard to believe it's 17 years since I was there in Vancouver. And you were sitting there in class, and you were using remote viewing, and I think I said to you that you were going to be a radio talk show host or something along those lines. It wasn't really a prediction. It was just a kind of a sense of who you were and what you were doing and the direction you were going, and wow, voila, and there you were.
And still going.
But it's amazing. Look at what you've done with it. I just wanted to say I'm very proud of you for what you've accomplished, for just the format, to the assemblage of wonderful people, great minds, and people who are working to serve humanity and do the things that they do. It's really, I've been looking through your list of callers and of interviewees, and you just do a tremendous job. I'm so proud of you. I really am. And I'm proud of all the people that support you and follow you and do what they do, and just keep doing that for this wonderful woman. It's so important, because there are not a lot of really high quality message portals that are out there where messengers get to come in and say what they want to say. In this format. So it's because of your support of her that she's able to continue doing that. So please step that up and continue doing it. And I just want to do it more. I mean, I feel good being here and being with you. I always do when I'm talking with you. So I think we just need to keep doing this more.